This is the body I live in. This skin, the smooth bark that stretches over bones that grow and break and heal and grow. This mouth and tongue, the rattle of leaves that warn of storm and wind. This voice calling out into the middle of the night blue air of summer, shouting into the brittle cold of winter when the silence is as loud as grief. We did not ask to be born, to be these animals of industry, but here we are. And the earth, it did not beg for us to stand here to dig our feet into the dirt, but this is where we become, where we build our brick houses, child after child, our families growing, breaking, healing. That beech tree in upstate New York that looms over the sledding hill of my childhood home, it did not ask for me to climb it, but I did. Its smooth gray bark, how it shined luminescent in my favorite dusk time light, how when I tried to sleep, its leaves would sound their shimmer like the sweet sirens of seductive legend, how it would tempt me out into the middle of the night blue air of August, how in my bare feet and hand-me-down t-shirts I would strut like a quick and quiet peacock, scamper up to the top of the hill and find her there, that beech tree, so unafraid of the shadows, so grounded, so still and sturdy in contrast to my own ocean of inner turmoil. I knew her knots in the dark, would hook my tiny pink hand over that hitch in her trunk, swing my leg over the low branch, then my left foot finds that one irregular notch, and I pull myself higher and higher until I could lay my body out flat, my toes dangling over the side, my head a wild pile of hair nestled into that fork where she spreads out underneath me wide as a bed fit for a god. These are the moments we adore, the trees we climbed, the mud pies we made for mothers who tolerated our follies, the flowers that amazed us, the moon that never abandoned. These are the moments in which we do not feel ourselves as separate from the land, when we can revel in our smallness, in our bone-deep, indisputable connection to the places we call home. So how now to grow up into cities, to strap our feet into shoes and strut, not to the climbing trees, but to the office, to the computer screens, to the briefcases and to the four-door sedans that carry us so quickly over the dirt we can no longer feel the cool stones we once so loved. But look again at your mouth. Tell me it is not still filled with beech leaves, that your skin is not still the glow of sun's dusk-time fade, and that your carefully chosen grown-up words are not still, sometimes, just the shimmer of a branch in spring. So we are called. We are called to the work. We are called to the work of the growth and the break and the heal and the growth. We're called to the trees and to the trails, to the growth and to the heal, to the mountains in Massachusetts, to the Big Sur cliffs, to the break and the heal and the growth. We are called to the ice and to the glaciers, to the break and to the heal, to the rivers in Thailand, to the temples in India, to the break and the growth and the heal, to the dirt that knows us by name, to the growth and the heal and the break, to the places where we can sweat through one more season of growth and heal and change. Once, in winter, home for a holiday, I hiked out through the snow to that tree. I was young and I felt daring, so I launched myself onto a newer, slimmer branch. I will not ever shake off the sound of that limb cracking. How in my foolishness, the tree that I so loved split in two. I clamored to keep my body from falling, but I watched that poof of powder as the splintered branch settled into the snow underneath me. How I mourned for that branch, felt the guilt grow in my body like a weed. My sister told me then how the strength of things changes over time, how in the winter trees hold less water and therefore less resilience. We tried to fuse it back together using rope and duct tape all afternoon. We tried to give that tree back its broken limb, and we failed. But we were better for the trying. Better for the knowing that sometimes even the things we most love break. I haven't been back to that house in 5 years. Haven't climbed that beach in 10. But last month, my mother, she sent me a photo. The beach leaves blooming huge in the ripe beginning of spring, and the light, just how I remember it. A little bit of silver and a dash of gold, the ground not quite green, but trying, becoming almost again. I cannot tell in the photo how that limb healed, if it grew again or if it rotted and fell. But now, in the mornings, dressing myself for the work of living this life, buttoning down my collar and pouring myself into slacks the color of duct tape, I try and remember. I try and remember to feel that cool, smooth bark stretching itself over these small hands, these tiny hands that refuse to quit.